Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul joined alongside Jack Weinberger and Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia. We open up another training camp episode today, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We're at almost 11.4 thousand subscribers at this point, going for around 12K by the start of the season, hopefully. Of course, you can become a member by going to our channel's homepage and clicking join to sign up for, we do things like merch giveaways. We answer questions during mailbags for members. A lot of fun benefits to be a member for the upcoming season. Of course, you can also check us out on audio if you don't watch on YouTube, and check out the merch store at paulfarringtonshow.com. We finally, a couple people just got their, remember we had the merch giveaway. We finally had everyone get their merch. It looks good. Chaos Crayon. Oh my God, Crayon, Chaos Crayon. Ziggy.
Yeah, what are you from Chicago? Crayon.
Ziggy said crayon. That's why I said crayon.
Isn't it crayon? Isn't that the Jersey type accent? Crayon? Do we say crayon?
No, we say crayon.
We say crayon.
Everyone should say crayon.
Wait, are you French? Oh, le crayon.
It's not,
Like that's
crayon,
what you sound like.
Crayon just bothers me. So Chaos Crayon is putting in a goal.
You know what? We should Chaos Crayon. If you're watching this, let us know how to pronounce it. Should we go crayon or crayon?
Oh, jeez.
It's up to you.
Crayon. Crayon is the pronunciation.
It could be cryon.
So, Jack, what hat do you have on today? I feel like you're trying to build out a sponsorship for yourself with the hats here.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt, right? Well, so I know, I will say first that I know we've had I've seen a couple requests, and I will get back to the college hats. I know loyal listener Amy is calling for a Huskies hat. I'm assuming that's UW. Let me know, is UW or UConn. I've seen Iowa.
It's surely UW. I'd wager.
I think it's UW too.
Amy's got taste.
I mean, UConn basketball champion.
I don't know. I've also seen Iowa, so I'll get back to those. But I got my Pittsburgh Pirates bucket hat on today. I placed I want to let the audience know that I placed a futures bet, $100 to pay out 20 grand on Paul Skeens to win the National League Cy Young before his first
Incredibly
start.
stupid bet.
Was it though? I need to see that Fisher baseball.
It might work out.
He's down a plus.
Wait, you placed it before he was even on when he was on the AAA team.
Before he was
right?
called up to the Pirates. I took him to win the NL Cy Young at plus 20K. And now he's the third best odds behind Chris Sale and Zach Wheeler. So I need the audience to pull with me, to ride with me, to root for me. I know you guys are mostly Brewers fans, but
dude's had a really good year, Paul Skeens.
His best rookie season ever. So.
Oh, no. I mean, just year. It might be the best year for an athlete ever.
Oh, winning the
championship at LSU.
Yes, drafted number one overall.
Dating Livy Dawn.
Dating a babe.
Drafted number one.
I know.
Gonna win the Cy Young.
He
starts the All-Star game.
He has the life that I want to have.
Although, you know what it is? He was drafted by the Pirates, though.
Oh, you know the Pirate. He'll be good. We'll trade him. He'll make millions in the Yankees.
Yeah, I guess he'll go to the Yankees. He'll probably go to the Yankees in a couple years, right?
He'll make billions on the Yankees. But no, I needed the crowd to root along with me. He pitches tonight, so when this episode comes out tomorrow, he would have shoved against the Astros. Big start.
And you're on your way.
Root along.
You're on your way.
Then I'm on the way.
Wow. Ziggy, did you see, before we get into it, so today we're going to go over the Tua and Jordan Love contract extensions. Then we're going to hit on one thing that we each have found exciting, a report coming out of training camp so far. Before we get into Tua, I wanted to ask you, Ziggy, did you see Deadpool and Wolverine at all?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
Why? I thought you liked Marvel movies.
I mean, I liked a couple of them back in the day, but right now I'm reading. I just got a box set from Criterion, The World of Wong Kar-wai. Have you ever seen any of his films?
I have no idea what the hell you. What?
Wong Kar-wai. I mean,
I have no
the
idea.
Shanghaiese in the audience will be unhappy with that pronunciation, but I'm doing my best. In the Mood for Love, Chungking Express, Fallen Angels, anything?
No, none of it.
Incredible films. Criterion released a box set a couple years ago with some color corrective remasters on his films. I've been busy going through that.
What years did these come out?
Pretty recently, actually.
Okay.
Late 90s to the 2000s. I believe 2013 is the most recent. He's got a new thing coming out on TV that I've heard is bad, but they're good movies, Paul.
You may be the only person I know who can pivot from Deadpool and Wolverine to what you just pivot to the movies you just pivoted to.
Isn't there a song called Fallen Angel? Or am I wrong?
There's something Fallen Angel.
Well, you haven't seen Deadpool, Ziggy?
No.
Have you seen Alive Pool?
No, jeez. It was good. Didn't you see Downey Jr. back as Dr. Doom?
Don't.
I know.
Fans don't want to hear the things I have to say.
Let us know in the comment section if you like Robert Downey Jr. coming back to the MCU.
Well, let us know in the
really
comment section if you like In the Mood for Love and recognize it as one of the best films of all time.
All right, let's get into.
We're at the show up today, folks.
Yeah, that'll do it for today's show. Let's go into Tua. So Tua signs. We haven't touched on Tua yet. We did the Jordan Love reaction. Tua signed 4-year, $212.4 million extension with the Dolphins, highest paid player in Dolphins history, fifth highest in NFL history, with according to average annual salary. Now, the potential out for all Dolphins fans who are immediately saying, "Oh, this is not good," like Zach probably is. It would be after the 2026 season. That's when you can get out of this contract, pretty much. You're going to have Tua for the next 3 seasons. So buckle up, Dolphins fans, whether you're happy or not. Tua is going to be your guy. He was actually just voted the number 36 overall player in the NFL top 100 for whoever cares about that. Players voting on you. This must feel good to be at 36. So what I wanted to ask you guys is, this is a lot of money. 5th highest contract in the NFL, like I just said. Do you think, I don't really want to say is Tua worth it because, he got the contract flat out, so we're not going to argue that much about that. But do you think that for the Dolphins, was signing Tua a bigger priority for them, or was it a bigger priority for Tua to get this contract?
I like the move by the Dolphins. I thought whatever he wanted, they should have given him, which they did. Like I think he's well worth it. It is really hard. He's an above average quarterback in the NFL. And it is really hard when you do not have a quarterback and you're in that quarterback carousel and you're looking, who's the next guy? Draft, trade, blah, blah, blah. Tua can get this team to the playoffs year in and year out. And he's shown that he can be very, very, very solid. And when you have a solid QB on the roster, quarterbacks are expensive nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a solid QB on the roster, which a lot of teams don't, the Dolphins do, you keep him there. So I thought that it was a necessity for them to sign him.
Okay, necessity. All right. And Ziggy, what do you think? With what I was asking, so Jack thinks, Dolphins had to sign him. Did you hear what I was saying there? Where was it bigger priority for the Dolphins to get this done or for Tua to secure the money before it's too late?
I don't think there is a too late for Tua, barring a catastrophic injury like he had at Alabama. Look, in free agency, how many quarterbacks are there that in over a 2-season run have thrown for 8,000 yards, 54 touchdowns, and like 21 interceptions? It's very hard to find guys that have produced at that level. Now, I know what people are saying, right? Well, it's the Dolphins system. He's got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle to throw to. Anyone could put up those numbers. But that's just not true. There are only so many guys in the NFL that can do that. And in free agency, Tua can make this much or even more. So I think the Dolphins don't have a lot of choice here. You can't be thrilled about the fact that you need to sign Tua to this contract. But when you don't have backup options, and this is a competitive deal, like this is what Tua would have gotten, or maybe even worse than he would have gotten in an open market in a year or two. Mm-hmm. I don't think Tua was in any rush to give this up. I do not expect his production to fall off a cliff. Meanwhile, the Dolphins...
why would you expect that?
Yeah, well, meanwhile, like Jack says, the price keeps ratcheting up and they don't have a backup option. You've got to keep him around. And I think signing him to a deal before more big QB contracts come in, like Brock Purdy, this is as cheap as he was going to be for the future.
And Dak, too. 8,000 yards and 54 touchdowns. That kind of reminded me of what I'm expecting JJ McCarthy to do this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
8,054.
I've liked it 13-4.
Yeah, I forgot you do. With Tua, one other thing to keep in mind is just when we're talking about the Dolphins getting this deal done, them prioritizing it, it's that this team is basically built to win right now. If it doesn't work over the next few years, then Miami's going to find themselves in a pretty tricky situation where Tyreek Hill's getting older. Jalen Ramsey still at the top of his game, but how many more years is he really going to be at that elite level? Not sure. So they have young talent, sure, but a lot of the superstars on their team are getting a little bit older. Outside of like Waddle and the running back, I think Achane could be really good if he stays healthy. But this is a team that's built to win right now. And like you were saying, Jack, if you have a quarterback who can get you to the playoffs, you're going to have a shot of winning some playoff games, going to the Super Bowl. We've said it so many times on this show. Miami was the number 1 seed. They were in line to be the 1 seed for much of last season. And poof, a few games here or there, Buffalo gets on a winning streak. And we completely forget, and a ton of injuries too. We can't forget about all the injuries. And all of a sudden, their season's kind of forgotten when they haven't won a playoff game in 23 years. They had a chance to be the 1 seed at one point. So I do think that for Miami, it was smart to get the deal done. You're right, Ziggy, as well. The quarterback price will only go up and up and up. So even for people, Ziggy, let me ask you this: for people like Zach, who if Zach was here, Zach would be saying, "Why did we do this? Why did we do this?" Is there anything more we need to say than what we just said about, hey, he can get you there? Or would you say that that's basically the primary?
Here's what I would say. It sucks to be locked into mediocrity. It sucks to have a lot of seasons where you're winning a few games, you're competitive, you're beating the teams you're supposed to beat, you feel like you don't have a huge ceiling. That's unpleasant.
That's you guys.
Let me tell you what's worse.
Yeah, it is.
What's worse is watching a team that sucks year in, year out because they don't have a quarterback.
No,
I'm sorry, I know that everybody wants to win the Super Bowl, but one team a year wins the Super Bowl. If you have a team that is consistently competitive, shut up, know your role, and accept that you get to watch a decent team every year.
I don't even think the Dolphins are mediocre. I actually think they're very good.
And the thing is, too, you don't know a good thing till it's gone.
Oh, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, like what happened? What's your backup plan? What do you do with Tua is not on the roster?
Some people are talking about, dreamers were saying, all right, and this is where, like, is this really the dream? They were saying, oh, maybe we go get Dak if he's upset in Dallas. And I don't know. Would you is Dak that much better than Tua? Do you think?
I don't think he's that much better than Tua.
Like, I think he probably is, but you can't get him.
Yeah,
the Cowboys. Jerry Jones said that he's not letting Dak walk.
Yeah,
I don't know what he is doing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ziggy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he is doing. He keeps saying Dak's not leaving. We're going to keep him around, but they won't pay him. But Dak's not walking.
Yeah, so one, he's not going to be available. And two, how much better is Dak really than Tua? The Cowboys and Dolphins have kind of been similar the past few years of really good, then get to the playoffs and it falls apart.
Dak and Tua both aren't their actual real names, right? Isn't it? Like, aren't they both short for something?
Dak's Dakota. Tua's
like a long name.
I'm not trying to pronounce that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like
I was waiting for it.
It's like a 20-letter name, isn't it?
It's a great name, no doubt. But
you want to give it a shot?
No.
Give it your best attempt. It's like Tua la 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 la, right? Something nuts like that.
It's very long. Tua, let's see. Tua Tagovailoa. Oh man.
Yeah, it's
Tuana Gamana Wolepola.
Tuani Gamana.
That is actually kind of nuts. Like 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 letter first name.
So
I've always said Tua is the most impressive thing he did in his entire college career was getting a bunch of guys in Alabama to know and pronounce the name Tua.
Yeah.
Do you think Dakota is that much better than Tua?
Tua. That's a crazy name. If anyone, if anybody can name drop without looking, if you can type into his name into the comment section without like incorrect spelling,
everyone's gonna look.
That would be amazing.
Everyone's gonna look and type in the right one.
18 letters. That's the longest first name I think I've ever seen.
Honestly, I won't believe anybody who types in the right one, so it's impossible to win.
You know what I just found out?
You thought Giannis Antetokounmpo was hard. Holy crap.
I just found out that Ben's real name was Benjamin. Ben Roethlisberger. I found out it was Benjamin the other day. Well, I thought it was just Ben.
Did that take a rocket?
You say that like that shock.
Figure that out?
I know. I just found it out the other day. But I guess I could have assumed.
So anyway, Tua's back at practice. He's happy. He's doing the Jerry Maguire, show me the money sign. Everyone, Mike McDaniel, give him a big hug, everything. Everyone's happy in Miami. We'll see how that goes over the course of this season, whether or not the Dolphins can get over the hump and finally beat some good teams, because they're there. They're very good. And I do think, I've said this before, I think if they were healthy last year at the end of the season, go back and look at the injuries they had it's just the Chiefs game alone. The rest of the latter portion of the season, they were banged up, but Ramsey, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, all of them hurt. They played, but hurt. And then the defensive ends, Chubb, Van Ginkel, everyone basically got hurt. Jalen Phillips. I think they would have been able to make a little bit more noise with the healthy team because they were awesome.
Going to Kansas City in the middle of winter.
That it's not only that, it's like you went from hosting every single playoff game in your beautiful 80-degree weather to -1 at Patrick Mahomes. And that's a death sentence.
Yeah, there's never a chance.
Yeah, I mean that game might be the most confident I've ever been that one team would beat another.
Yeah,
I'm a Vikings fan. I've seen some games where you're very confident you're going to lose.
It was only like -3 also, wasn't it?
No, it was freezing. It was the coldest game.
No, it was like on the spread, like a 3.5.
Oh yeah, it was under a touchdown.
Yeah.
That was easy pickings. Okay, so Jordan Love, we talked about, Jack, you haven't reacted yet to the Jordan Love contract. Ziggy and I hopped on, not so instant, but fairly instant reaction on Saturday, talking about the deal that Jordan Love signed Friday night, 4 years, $220 million, $75 million signing bonus, the largest in NFL history. He's under contract now through 2028. Obviously, Packers fans are very, very happy. I've heard quite a few of them saying that they're thrilled not to be opening up Google anymore and seeing, when will this deal get done? Is it going to happen? Like, we all knew this was going to happen. But now a lot of them are upset that they're seeing a couple people every now and then say that this was an overpay and that Love has improved himself, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I was doing a little reading today across a few articles. I forgot about this completely, guys. Did you know Aaron Rodgers in 2008 signed his deal 7 weeks into the season? 7 weeks into starting for the Packers in 2008, Rodgers signed a new contract. They tore up the 2005 rookie deal, gave him a 5-year deal worth $65 million. Crazy to think also at the time in 2008, $65 million. That contract put him in the top 5 for quarterbacks. This is over the course of the entire contract. Basically what Jordan Love's going to make in year 1 now.
Substantially less than Jordan Love will make in year 1. Year 1, he's making like 100 something.
Sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. On an average basis.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it's about half of what Jordan Love is going to make in his first year on this deal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous where the quarterback market has gone. But the Packers have done this before. They saw what they had in Rodgers, gave him a big contract on a less of a sample size than Love, and the Packers were 4-3 when they gave him this deal. And they didn't make the playoffs that year, by the way. But here we are, Jordan Love. You have to like this, I imagine, right?
Oh, I think, yeah. We knew it was coming. He's young, and to me, when it comes to quarterbacks like this, I know it's not always the case, but you can tell that whether somebody's going to pan out and be a solid quarterback, or if they don't have it. Like Jordan Love to me has it. 10 games in a row to me is not a fluke.
But wait, let me ask you something. When they were 2-5 and he didn't look good, were you going, oh, he didn't have it?
No, because then he won 10 games in a row.
Oh no, I'm saying though, like, if you were watching that first 7 games, was there any point where you were like, he's dead?
Well, I mean, of course there was, but to find what he was able to do so early and continue it shows that he has what it takes.
Given the full season.
Yeah, like he has what it takes to be a very, very good quarterback in this league. Just like CJ Stroud, you can tell that guy's got it. There are other guys like who don't. And to lock up probably one of the better quarterbacks in football, who's still a super young guy, I think he's worth every penny.
Well, you can see the difference in how Jordan Love and Tua responded to signing their record-setting contracts.
I know. That's what
when
I saw.
Tua signs the contract, he's show me the money. He's getting on the mic. He's talking to fans. He's clearly very excited. Jordan Love's response is, I'm under a lot of pressure. I'm going to get back to work and do whatever I can to succeed and live up to this deal. Like, Jordan Love very clearly understands the assignment. He is there to win Super Bowls. Nothing else is acceptable, and he's taking this very, very seriously. You can tell that hold-in he did for 4 days, you could tell that it was painful for him to not be out there.
I'm getting real close to hitting the pandering button on Ziggy. We need a pandering button.
I don't know what to tell you. You see the headlines. Tua's celebrating. Jordan Love is saying, I can't hide from this. I have to perform.
The fan base. No,
I'll tell you what's pandering. Jordan Love being above Jared Goff in the NFL 100. That's pandering to Packers fans.
Yeah, Love came in.
We're saying things as they 34.
Are. Love's ahead of Goff?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. No disrespect, Packers fans. That's stupid.
Be. I don't know. I kind of like Jared Goff.
Jared Goff had an excellent season. Jordan Love had half of an excellent season.
Yeah, Jared Goff is very, very good. Who do I want?
Jared Goff played better in the playoffs than Jordan Love. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want from me.
The difference is Jordan Love is very, very, very good. Jared Goff is elite.
Jared Goff's done it for a long time. He's proven he belongs. He's going to have a better season next year.
Who do you want next year? You're starting a team, Love or Goff?
Jared Goff.
Okay, fair enough. I'd rather have
Love or Fields.
I get that you're accusing me of pandering, and it looks like I'm just reacting to that. But I'm serious. He can't. No.
Well, yeah, you moved from the Tua conversation over to I don't know. I guess Jared Goff is the defense mechanism for Ziggy these days.
But
no,
we're not supposed
I
to
did
appoint
notice
a
that too.
Vikings quarterback.
I did notice that too, though. And maybe it's because Tua. At some points, it wasn't clear to me that Tua was going to get a massive deal. So I don't blame him for being excited. I didn't look at that and go like, oh, that's concerning. I did notice though that his reaction was a little bit more expressive than Jordan Love, who talked about pressure, saying there's always pressure. There's no hiding that. Like I need
to be fair to
Tua,
he did say immediately after that, I'm the highest paid employee here. I've got to get my whatever together. I've got to get that right and get our guys moving in the right direction. Like he's not about to go on a bender in Miami.
No, I don't think he's wired like that.
Well, that could maybe behind closed doors. He goes on a bender in Miami.
Down in Miami, you never know. But no, neither Tua nor Jordan Love seem to be wired in a way that you'd be nervous about giving this big of a contract to. That's something that Gutekunst actually echoed. He was saying, and you talked about this in the reactions. Like you said, having Jordan Love been in the building now for 4 years, even though we haven't seen him play that often, you get a good sense of who the guy is and the character he has, the work ethic, and everything that comes out is generally very positive about Jordan Love. Number 34 in the top 100, though, that's high.
So he wins your next bender in Miami.
People around the NFL think that Jordan Love's got it. Nobody in the NFL, it seems, thinks it was a fluke. So when you're deciding to pay out a contract, I guess it's at least a relief if you're a Packers fan, I guess, to see that everyone else agrees he's one of the best players out there.
I think that for both Tua and Jordan Love being in now, look, of course, you can't base everything off of the NFL top 100 list, but I do think there is something about your peers voting on you as a 34th and 36th best player in the league. Like that actually carries a little bit of weight to me as a fan, at least, where I go, yeah, all right, other guys see it too. It's not just looking at the stats and saying Tua led the league in passing yards or Jordan Love had the second most touchdowns. It's like, no, these guys just really good, and everyone knows
or something. Absolutely, yeah.
34. That's a high number there. Did you see the first practice for Love? Started out kind of like his season last year, 1 for 8 to start, interception, then he ends at 10 for 12, 47-yard bomb to Christian Watson.
Maybe that's once you know a guy's good, I like to see him taking risks in practice. Jordan Love has proven enough to me. I don't care what he does in training camp. He can go 0 for 50 with 40 interceptions. I don't care.
Maybe it's foreshadowing again. They'll start like 0-4 and then finish 13-4.
0-4 would have them losing to the Vikings in week 4. Well, that would be the panic. Yeah,
I have the Vikings beating them.
Oh, yeah. JJ McCarthy's leading us in there. Or I guess it'll be Sam Darnold at that point. Leading us in there. And Sam the Man is going to throw for probably 350 and 4.
Ziggy, if the Vikings win the Super Bowl this year, can you go on a bender in Miami?
No.
Why?
I don't want to go on a bender in Miami.
What if I go with you?
I don't want to go on a bender in Miami.
Would you rather go with me or by yourself?
No.
Just nothing at all.
Anti-Miami Ziggy.
What about Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, 10 miles.
Let's move on to our next segment.
Okay, so there you have it. Tua and Jordan Love both get big deals down to my maybe not. I don't know about that.
Can the fans go? The fans will come with me.
So Jack, you're lucky you're cute.
The training camp stories. Let's move on. The training camp stories. We're each gonna pick a training camp story that we've seen online, a little article that we've read, and just talk about what we're getting excited about. Training camp is that time of year when, as a football fan, it's different from every single other sport where you kind of know in the NBA, a lot of times in the MLB, who's going to be good, who's not. There are teams that surprise you. But in the NFL, every single team has a shot to win the Super Bowl in July. And their beat reporters will let you know it. There's clickbait galore. I love it.
I'm falling for it.
Oh, I mean, as a Viking fan, again, we have only so many reasons to be excited. When I see clickbait on Sam Darnold looking really good, I go, "Ooh, maybe, just maybe if he pulls it together in the defense, Brian Flores year 2, you start dreaming a little bit, get the wheels turning, and next thing you know, I'm imagining Kevin O'Connell hoisting the Lombardi Trophy with Justin Jefferson. Doesn't take that long to get there in July.
No, I'm falling for it.
So, Ziggy, you've kind of been flip-flopping on what story you wanted to pick all day. You've been sending things in. Ziggy was.
I'm just trying to do some research for the show.
Yeah. Oh no. Of course, of course we appreciate it. But Ziggy was not very appreciative of my response when he was between stories.
What do you? I just when you don't like a story, tell me you don't like the story. It's that simple.
Ziggy, you said like if you want, right?
Ziggy asked for a story, and I was it was my fault. I was in the middle of like 3 different things, so I just looked at it. I was like, what I say, like, yeah, sure, whatever.
You said, yeah, sure, we can do that for a bit if you want.
And Ziggy was like,
which means
if you don't
no.
like it, you don't have to.
Yeah, the if you want is just horrendous.
I meant it. I actually liked the story that you found and want to talk about. It was more of just like, okay, I gotta thumbs up. I should just given it a thumbs up.
You know, you give a thumbs up reaction. That's cool. It's the taking the time to type out a like 50 character message with 10 qualifiers and then saying, oh, sorry, I was too busy.
Yeah, look, it's on me. It's on me.
The like and like love buttons on text is the most perfect way to just like end a comment. When you want to talk to somebody,
it's amazing.
As a Vikings fan, I feel dirty using the love button every single time.
I like using a GIF to end the conversation.
Me too. That's a good conversation.
I am horrendous. That's one thing I'm very bad at. Here we go on our tangents. I'm very bad at ending conversations with people.
I am too.
I always feel guilty. Like it could even be with a college buddy, and it'll be like, "All right, see you, man." I'll be like, "See ya."
Same.
and everyone's
so hard to get Paul off the phone.
It is. Our friend Tommy, who's a big Colts fan, listens to our show all the time. Tommy also is quite bad. You know Tommy Cassius.
Yes,
is quite bad at ending conversations. So he'll be like, "See you later." I'll be like, "Peace, man." He'll be like, "All right, sounds good." And then it's just back and forth for like a minute before one of us is like, "All right, this is ridiculous."
Someone will be like, "Thanks, Chuck." I'll be like, "LOL, NP."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I'll never just like the thanks. I'll be like, "NP, man."
But that's where like a GIF or the thumbs up. The thumbs up feels a little, I don't know. It feels a little rude to me.
No, it does. That's what I'm saying.
When there's the love option, if you just give the thumbs up, I feel like I'm not fully embracing what you just said.
Like, why not love it?
I don't know.
Like, I love your sister.
No. All right. Ziggy, what topic did you pick for training camp?
There were two topics I was sort of torn between, but one we expected and one most people other than me didn't expect. So I'm going to go with the one folks aren't expecting. New York Jets had what was called a sloppy practice today. Alan Lazard came out and said, when talking about Aaron Rodgers, I would say demonstrative is a good word for him. Anytime you've got an NFL player breaking out a 3-syllable word to describe a teammate, you know things have gone wrong.
Come on, man.
So let me just paint a story for you. Second play of practice. Aaron Rodgers throws a ball right into Alan Lazard's hand, tipped off for an interception. Offensive line can't block a thing. Fake sack after fake sack after fake sack. Joe Tittman, they moved him. They're optimistic he's going to be good at center this year because he's so athletic. Can't snap the ball right. Has over half a dozen snaps off target. Aaron Rodgers has to jump on the ball. Few plays later, Aaron Rodgers falls on the ground and some offensive lineman steps on his foot, nearly breaking it. And you just see these pictures of Aaron Rodgers. He's on the sidelines. He's yelling at people. He's losing his mind. And I get that he's a leader. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be that guy. But it's tough when you see Aaron Rodgers going like this. Like he's going to strangle somebody.
Oh, yeah, he looked furious in the pictures.
The Jets need Aaron Rodgers to be cool. They need this offense to be good. This is, I think, quite likely the last season of Aaron Rodgers' career. Not a great start.
The Jets, too, are one of those teams. I personally think they're going to be good. But the biggest issue, if you ask any Jets fan what the problem will be, if something were to implode, what is it going to be? The answer is the offensive line. Like that is what can cripple this team. So seeing in, day one, basically, that Aaron Rodgers is having a ton of issues with the offensive line, throwing his hands up in the air and screaming at them. I was like, that doesn't bode so well for my Jets prediction here of them, possibly returning to the playoffs.
I mean, I'd be kind of upset too. I mean, these guys last year ended my season in 4 plays.
Could you imagine if Aaron Rodgers broken his ankle or broken his hand falling down in practice? That would be probably even more Jets than Rodgers tearing his Achilles in the 4th play of the game.
Do you know what there's a small chance this could be? Like, what if things are going really well and this was all intentional and staged?
A little fake news.
To get us to think that things aren't going well in the Meadowlands right now.
I
don't know. Scream at these guys. They'll take pictures of it.
I can't fathom a reason why that would be.
They're screwing up the snaps on purpose.
Yeah. Get people thinking the Jets, here we go again.
Look, we try to think differently on this show, and that's, I'm not going to.
Well, one of us thinks much more differently than the other two.
Differently or better?
if that Paul Skeens bet cashes, I can't give you any crap anymore. So
when it cashes,
the Jets are. I just keep looking up and down the roster. I think there's too much talent for it to not work out. But again, I'll go back to it. The offensive line has a lot of players who, in their primes have been very good. But there's just so many different question marks between getting older and then actually the injury concerns as well, where if that doesn't work out and Rodgers getting pressured, he was sacked a few times in this practice. 3 times, I think, like pretty quickly, he was sacked a lot. And that's the kind of thing where if he's getting hit early in the season, if the older guys don't look like they have it anymore, Elijah Vera-Tucker gets hurt again, like all these things are actually probably more likely to go negative for the Jets than positive. Now all of a sudden you're seeing, a pretty demonstrative quarterback like Aaron Rodgers is not great to have in crisis mode most of the like we've had the quotes like relax and we'll get there. But Rodgers can be a little bit of a diva sometimes, and that's where you got to hope if you're a Jets fan, this has to work out and it has to be tightened up the sooner rather than later.
Yeah, of course.
Avoid
We're still over a month away.
So. Yeah, I'm not overreacting to one practice, but it's just like, gosh, the biggest concern that they have is a huge issue on day one. Like, all right, that's not a great sign, but still, day one for a reason. How about you, Jack? You scoured the internet.
I did.
Searching for story after story, consuming knowledge at a rate unknown to most men.
I did. I had an off period at my summer camp job today. So I went and scrolled through some news and among other things. And what caught my attention was what's going on in Indianapolis. My favorite receiver, who I believe if he doesn't transfer from Georgia, they win 3 straight natties. Adonai Mitchell. Looking like an elite wide receiver too in Indy right now. They got Michael Pittman. He's their number 1. The most physically gifted specimen in the world, AR quarterback. Josh Downs.
Jonathan Taylor.
Could this Colts team make some more noise than people think? People talking about the Texans. Looking the Jags come back.
Ziggy is the Titans winning the division.
Ziggy to the Titans. I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing out in Indianapolis right now, especially with my guy Adonai Mitchell.
You can't be happy about Samson Ebukam tearing his Achilles and missing the entire season, which is very cold.
Obviously not.
Yes, that's not. Yeah, that is very cold. I really am excited to see the Colts. I would say compared to most, like you have every team in the NFL in front of me. I'm picking, the 5 I'm most excited to watch for this season. I'm probably putting the Colts in there because of the Anthony Richardson factor. Seeing Mitchell, have a deep bomb, like that's very exciting. We know he's a speed demon. And yeah, he did just make big play.
Looking like an elite too. I mean, you have Pittman and Mitchell who he can be elite too.
If Anthony Richardson, I kind of think that he's a little bit, Jordan Love exploded over 10 games. You got a little bit more proof that this guy is going to be very good. Anthony Richardson, everyone's hyping him up because it's that time of year. Like I said off the top of this, it's that time of year where you buy into everything. And if you're a fan, you are going to put the positive spin on anything you see because that's football and you're believing. Anthony Richardson was very good at certain points last year, but it wasn't the same as Love. Like Love came in and for the 10-game stretch dominated. I didn't think Anthony Richardson, he had the Rams game where he had some spectacular moments, but I think there's still a much, much, much bigger jury out on how good Anthony Richardson is, where I believe that he's going to have a good season. But I'm not convinced in the same way where like I think Stroud will be awesome. I think Love will be awesome. A lot of those guys who broke out, you have a much bigger sample size. So Richardson, I'm excited to see like is he actually going to live up? It's kind of like his rookie year all over again. I think you can almost wipe last year of Anthony Richardson because all you know is yes, he can still do some spectacular things, but how will he string it together? And that's a great sign that they have weapons around him.
There's the accuracy issues, which we know. But if he can reach the level that Colts fans want and expect him to be, or not even reach, but like come somewhat close to, this team will be in the playoffs.
Yeah, you got to give him what?
I don't have much doubt about that.
You got to give him the same leash that Jordan Love. If the Colts are 2-5 or something, I don't know. You got to give him more time. Mm-hmm. So I like the Colts. Ziggy, you've been a pretty big Colts advocate for a year and a half now.
You're an AFC South guy, Ziggy.
I mean, the second the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson, I said this team could be the real deal. Last year, despite the injuries, did not dissuade me from that. I mean, I'm happy to see that in the offseason, they're not saying we're going to cage Anthony Richardson. They've said we're going to let him run. Obviously, you want him to be smart about it, but imagine if the Panthers had told Cam Newton, you can't run. He just never, it shortened his career, sure, but you never would have gotten those incredible seasons out of him if you tried to make him into something he wasn't. The Colts understand what they've gotten Richardson, and I look forward to them to seeing what they're able to do, which could be a lot.
Oh, yeah. It could be a ton. And Cam Newton, you had the MVP season. You had the year where they played the Broncos 10 times. I probably think that the Panthers win the majority of those. I mean, that was a great team during the Cam Newton MVP season. Anthony Richardson, though, does need to learn when to get down, like bad.
It takes time.
He got hurt in 3 of his 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a fantasy owner of him last season, I was super pumped up because it was amazing. But then, all of a sudden you look up and it's like, wait a second, he hasn't scored. I remember I was driving home from an apple orchard one day. He had 20 points in the first 8 minutes of the game. I was like, this guy's going to win me the league. And then I refreshed it, 15 minutes later, and he still had 20 points. It's like, oh, this isn't good. And I see a news flash come across the top of my phone. It's like Anthony Richardson ruled out for remainder of the game. And I went, oh, this is not good at all. So I'm very excited for him too, Jack. I think that's
I'm excited to watch the Colts.
A good trade. Yeah, the Colts, dude, Colts forge, man.
Yeah, Colts
football is going to be awesome this year. All right, I'll do the last story here that just got my attention a little bit, and it's someone that Jack has been really vocal about over the course of this offseason. I don't think you guys know where I'm going with this. I don't think
Caleb Williams.
Oh, you do. You do.
Yeah.
You do.
He's terrible.
I don't.
Caleb Williams. Yeah, I'm going Caleb Williams. I did a bad job producing the show this afternoon as I was creating sponsorship slide decks and things like that. Again, if anyone wants to sponsor the show, feel free to email us, paulfarringtonshow@gmail.com. So Caleb Williams, for all the hype and all the criticism from Jack, has been pretty damn good at training camp so far. You hate to see it, don't you? It's not a good time to be an FC North fan if you're not a fan of the Bears, Packers, or Lions. So Caleb Williams is looking really good. Alyssa Barbieri, a Bears Wire writer, she was saying the pocket presence, leadership, ability to stand up to veterans, break up a scuffle, tremendous arm talent. It makes it apparent the Bears, quote, have a potential star on their hands. And we could sit here and I can just read you everything. Ryan Bates saying he's kicking ass. Everyone, fighting with DeMarcus Walker, going up to defensive ends. And there's so many different superlatives you can attach to Caleb Williams' name. I do want to pull back just a little bit because it is still just training camp. And I don't want us to be one of those podcasts that's just like, oh, Caleb Williams is going to dominate because he looks amazing in pads. But
what new information did we get there, right? Caleb Williams, this is a guy who has a potential to be a star. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, there's not. But I will say what I do get excited about, and this is where I kind of fall into it, is I am watching some of the plays that he's making. And when there's even at one play where he rolls out to his right, avoids some pressure, and just on the run throws a 45-yard dart to the corner of the end zone. I'm like, gosh, that's something the Bears never, ever, 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 ever have seen for a century. Jay Cutler had his moments. Rex Grossman took you to a Super Bowl. It's so sad. And Mitch Trubisky had a good year where the defense carried you. But the Bears, you rarely see the Bears quarterback make plays like the one he made at practice this past week. Just some of the plays he's making, they're throwing off balance. Where I do actually start to buy into it. And I go, yeah, they've been craving someone like this for so long that if it works out and they have a superstar with the way their defense has always been, I really think the Bears are a much bigger playoff threat than people may realize.
I mean, no one really plays defense in training camp, but
no, they don't. But when have you ever seen hype around a Bears quarterback?
No, never. And he can do things that we've seen Rodgers do, and things that people really can't do. And the ceiling and potential, even for a guy I don't really like, is very, very high.
How are they going to screw this up, though? That's the question.
I was waiting for the article to be like, oh, it's so Bears if it was like, oh, Caleb Williams 1 for 9, 3.
I know. Ziggy, that's why it's worth talking about, because it wasn't a Caleb Williams struggles mightily, defense rattles rookie. It was Caleb Williams looks awesome.
Like I was, you're a Bears fan. Your mouth is watering at that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Our good friend Weston Dell, big Bears fan, has got to be pumped. It's your time.
Every reason to be.
Ziggy's not buying it right now.
My mouth is watering right now looking at Ziggy.
Jeez. All right. So a little training camp reaction, a little Jordan Love Tua Tagovailoa reaction. We got a bee flying around here. Not near us yet. Remember last time we had a bee flying around? Jack ran out of the studio.
Yeah, I hate bees.
So, all right, we'll be back probably on Thursday this week. It depends on what's going. Well, actually, we have football, right? We have Thursday Bears Texans in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, talking about Caleb Williams, we might get to see him in some game action.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, well, Caleb said he wants. I know, it sneaks up on you. Caleb said he wants to play. I'm not sure Chicago's going to play him or not.
Wow. All right.
I might give him a drive.
It's almost back.
I'd probably give him a drive. Remember last year when CJ Stroud played the Patriots in his first game, and everyone was all over him on Twitter because he fumbled or he got sacked.
He threw an interception. Horrible pick, right? Yeah,
horrible pick, and everyone was just mocking him, saying like, "Look at the Texans, idiots."
Mm-hmm.
Give it a little time.
But I mean, it's tough to believe that football is back.
It is.
It
comes so quick. It really does. You don't have much of an off season in the NFL. Truly, it's gone to that point where it's just year round. Good for the NFL. Yeah, good for you. I wasn't a big fan of them putting games on Christmas. Leave it alone.
I mean, the fact the Steelers play Christmas Day at 1 too. I just don't like that.
No, I get it. Like the ratings will be great. It's actually it will crush the NBA.
I think it's to murder the NBA.
It'll crush the NBA.
For the NBA.
You think they have
that's all they care about.
Yes, it's to screw.
No, I know that is all they care about. But I was saying going like, I don't know, like Wednesday. I mean, we're not working on Christmas.
Also, like we're playing the Chiefs. It'll be like no one will be there.
No, it'll be mobbed.
I don't think it will be mobbed.
I'll bet you anything it is sold out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's check on it right now.
At Kansas City?
In Pittsburgh.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
People will wake up, be like, Christmas morning, let's watch on TV. Christmas Day at 1 p.m. I don't think anybody's going.
If you guys are somewhat competitive.
I don't care if they're, what week is it?
Like 15,
14, 15.
I don't care if they're 0-14.
It'll be sold out.
Patrick Mahomes is coming to Pittsburgh. People are going to the game.
Unless there's a lot of Jewish people in Pittsburgh.
even Catholics are going to be, Christians are going to be going to.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't wake up I wouldn't wake up early and go to the game. I'd rather just spend Christmas morning watching on TV.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's you. There's millions of Steelers fans.
We'll see.
And you also live in Allenville, New Jersey.
But I wouldn't wake up and go to the Giants game Christmas Day at 1.
You're not a Giants
Even
fan.
if I was a fan. I'd rather just watch on TV.
Depends. If the Steelers I think like if the Steelers are competing for a playoff spot, you might go like, I got to be there. If they're competing for the 1 seed.
Maybe for the 1 seed, yeah.
I just didn't like it in general. If the Vikings were playing, I'd be upset. Since they're not playing, I don't really care. But all right, there you have it for the Tuesday show. It's Monday recording, Tuesday show. Hear a phone going. It's not mine. All right. Thanks again to everyone who is listening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You can always become a member. As I said off the top, by going to the homepage and selecting join. If you have any questions, leave a comment. We'll probably have a mailbag coming out pretty soon. Ziggy, you itching to say something?
I was going to say, if they want to celebrate, I know we've got some Packers fans watching, celebrate Jordan Love's record-setting contract.
No.
We got a t-shirt.
Yeah, so I saw someone comment about the Norse brick. I don't think they understand exactly what it is. Like this is something that you buy. Yeah, I'll make sure it's in the camera. This is something that they sell in Minnesota so that when you get mad at the television, you can throw it at your TV without breaking your TV.
It's a genius idea.
I've done it a few times.
That's a good idea.
But the thing is, then it won't reach it's just foam, so it won't reach the TV. Then you get mad that you didn't even reach the TV, and that's just a complete disaster.
Then you throw it again.
They throw it again. Yeah. Next thing you know, it's a bad Sunday. Gosh, Super Bowl would be great. Super Bowl would be so good. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.